everybody. Welcome to Cosmic Connections. I'm Starlene Brighter here with Fei Cochran and Christopher Pridham. We're going to have a little podcast here we haven't had for a while, and we are also going to be sharing some of the things that we'll be doing at the Cosmic Patterns Conference, which is coming up in March of 2025. It is March 7th through 9, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. If you haven't already checked us out, you'll definitely want to check it out. The link will be in the description box, or you can just go to cosmicpatternsconference.com. We're all going to be speaking there, so we're going to share a little bit about what we're speaking there and other things about the conference itself in this video. So thank you two for being my partner in this. How are you both doing today?
Doing great. Good. Can't complain.
Doing great. Hey, well, we can complain. But
now I could complain, but I choose not to. So.
That's the best way, though. That's the best way. I've missed you guys. I've missed doing our recordings and stuff like this. I know we've had a lot of guests on and stuff, so it's nice that that's just the three of us talking today. But so this will be a fun conversation. The presentation that Christopher will be doing is going to be on the 360 vibrations in the way that he does it with his synergistic astrology. I'm super excited to dig into that with him here to get us excited about watching his presentation. And the presentation that Fei is giving is going to be how to choose the ideal place to live using VA. And the presentation that I'll be giving is going to be the basics of vibrational astrology and the base vibrations. So these are the topics that we're going to talk about, which will be interesting. Mine will be more of a basic, learning type of thing. I think it kind of ties in really nicely with what Rick Levine will be doing as the pre-conference, talking about how he ties in normal astrology with the vibrations, the vibration charts, and then, taking it to understanding it from a vibrational astrology level. And then Christopher comes along and he takes it to an even bigger perspective. So I'm excited to talk about that. And of course, yours too, Fei.
Yeah, and for me to apply the VA technique into relocations, which there's so many now that are wanting to relocate. I'm getting a lot of requests for relocation reading, and I thought I will show it how to use it so that you're likely able to find the place that you really want to live and stay and retire. So this is really a very important talk.
Yeah. It definitely is, especially because, you can pretty much go anywhere else in the world you want to go and see what, where do you want to live? What would be the best place, the most ideal place for you? So I love your conversation. I love relocation astrology too. So that's great.
Yeah.
So Christopher, let's pick on you first. Tell us a little bit about your 360 vibes and what's going on with that.
Okay. Yeah. So with vibrational astrology, what you're looking at is you're looking at where at least three planets really come together. And for me, what I look for is when three planets come together in a tight conjunction with a harmonic chart, or what we would call a vibrational chart. And these are usually very large circuits, as we all know. And so when you run through like the Sirius software, you'll want to look to see what are the strongest circuits. And so for me, what I was always looking at was 168, 227, 301, 309. And it's like we had no definitions for any of these things. And we would sometimes take some of our base ones and run them by 9 and come up with a basic definition. But that was very that wasn't giving me anything. And for me, I wasn't really trusting it. And so I went in and I wanted to get the definitions. And so last year at the conference, that was just a beginning. I had done something with very beginning, and it is. And, you're going, you're looking, you're trying to find, how does this work? Like, beyond what we traditionally have done in VA was we'll get the vibration. We'll look for people who have that really strong. We'll read biographies, or so we try to get as much information we can to try to figure out what these things are. Go through a whole research program. And as you both know, that takes a extremely long time. I mean, the rate we were going, we're going to be years away before we ever get up to the 300s. Like, it was just, okay, this is ridiculous. There's got to be another way. So that's what I ended up sort of stumbling into, as it were. And it's taking the same concept of vibrations, but it's called synergistic, because what I've done is I've ended up incorporating a lot of points to the vibration, to understanding the vibration. Now, at the conference, I'm going to be going into a little more detail, like exactly how this happened, exactly what you do, and then how you use it. So for me, when I'm looking at charts, I'm putting together a story. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to understand the story of the person. I'm trying to understand where they're coming from, where they are, where they're going. That's what I need to know in order to understand the individual parts of the chart and the cycles or the transits, the progressions that they're going through right now. For me, I have to see the whole picture. I got to see a big picture and then begin to come down to the details. Okay? So with the whole thing that's been really exciting for me with vibrations is they get these big picture but very pinpoint energies is what they do. Okay? It's very specific. And you're getting, let's say you get 5 or 6 strong ones that you're looking at. You really can see the formation of a story. You see the formation of the drive of this person. And then again, just taking the rest of the chart, seeing the signs, the houses and whatnot, you can begin to put together a story. Combine that with the nodes. You really can start to put together a story. So what I've been working on in this 360 vibration is, one of the things I did was, and we're just with Fei's help, we're about ready to come out with the ascendants, which is 360 ascendants, all based on vibrations and degrees. And then also coming out with a book called the 360 Vibes Defined, which is like math. It's a big book, which is tying in Sabian symbols. It's tying in Myers-Briggs. It's bringing in the tarot cards. It's bringing in the decans, both from the sort of the Greek tradition and also bringing in the Vedic tradition. It also will tie in different Vedic charts into the vibrations, and the Greek god. It'll tie in the fixed star. So it's bringing in a lot of the dynamics and sort of trying to you're trying to feel the energy. One of the things in the class when we were taking vibrational astrology from David was he always talked about you have to feel into the energy. And that has forever stuck with me.
Same.
Yeah, you've
Me
got to
too.
feel into the energy. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so
that's the beauty of vibration astrology. You have to feel the chart in order to feel the person and able to communicate with them.
yes.
Understanding the person is through feeling the chart.
Yes, it is 100%. Now you have to understand, you put together, I mean, we want to have facts, but you have to feel, because what you're doing is you're taking, and these different components are flowing together. All right. So how are they working together? And they affect each other. So it's not like, oh, this is just pure and it just does its thing, and this is pure. No, they affect each other. You feel it. So you really have to feel into these. So the other thing that I have found as being, as a minister, you find that the language you use is really important. And I know for any of the professional astrologers or anyone who's played around with it, how you describe things matter. I don't know how many people I've had, I begin to describe a dynamic and they're like, no, that's not me. And so I shift the way I describe it slightly, and they're like, oh, that's totally me. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm saying the exact same thing. but I said it in a different way. I use slightly different language that they're receptive to. That's one of the things that I'm trying to do with the vibrations in doing it in the synergistic way, is bring other elements so that if a person is used to tarot, then you can incorporate the tarot card, because I have tarot cards tied to the vibrations. So you can use that as part of the language if this is what the person is comfortable with. If they're more comfortable with Myers-Briggs, I have the Myers-Briggs tied to the vibration. So you can use that language, or Sabian symbols. Now, I like Sabian symbols, but for some people, that's very esoteric and very out there. It's hard for certain people to understand the Sabian language, because again, it's very
Symbolic.
yes, extremely
Yeah.
symbolic.
You have to totally look into it, the Sabian symbols, to like see it, and then sometimes step backwards.
So
Yeah.
for some people, it's great. Other people, they can't make head nor tails of it. Okay.
Right.
So for me, it's a matter of taking things and making them understandable for people, because that's really the biggest thing for astrology. Is you may be able to see it as an astrologer, but you have to be able to communicate it as well. I mean, and especially when you're dealing with a client, that's really all that matters, is do they hear what they need to hear? So in going through the 360, and part of the talk at the conference is going to be in this, looking at sort of how I use this method and the stories, and how to bring it all together into a whole. And there'll be the talk, which is going to be, it'll be really good. There, by that time, hopefully the books will be out too, so people will be able to get those as well, kind of understand where it's coming from. But I think one of the most important things for the conference, and for a live conference, is the fact that you're able to talk to people. Okay.
Yes.
So for me, that's like one of the biggest things is
And Chris, and all of us are very approachable. Come and approach us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, people are asking if any of us are willing to do VA consultation there.
Listen, if you come up to me and you put a chart in my face, I am going to start.
I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's just gonna happen. Just come and show up.
Yeah.
Me
Anybody who
too.
knows me knows that I will read any chart anywhere, anytime. Like, it's fun. So, and for people,
for me, catch me at my booth at the bookstore in the marketplace. Catch me there. You'll get it.
Yes, and you'll have the computer and Sirius set up there, so you can demonstrate and show them, and then you can also.
And that's really what it's about, is once you begin to get in, again, the way you learn astrology is the way you learn astrology. So your mind tends to work that way. And, bringing in other methods, it's good. Now, it can be hard at first because you're really used to things meaning a certain thing. Okay.
Right.
But when you begin to expand your mind and begin to take on different practices, and I mean, not just incorporating it in, but really understanding that practice before you sort of incorporate it, it really expands your understanding of astrology, and it will help your own methodology. I know for myself, I was sort of raised in vibrational astrology, but then when I begin to branch out and do Hellenistic astrology and evolutionary astrology and different forms of astrology, it helped me understand vibrational astrology better. It helped me understand the nature, and
it gives you the context.
Yes. Well, it gives you, there are little things that you can learn from different practices that you see it in a particular way, and it helps you understand. Recently I was really looking at Scorpio, trying to, like, Scorpio is something I always try to figure out, with my wife having so much of it.
Because your wife,
Okay. So, and there's always the talk of transformational, like it wants transformation. Okay, I got that. But I began to see a little element there where it needs to have meaning in its interactions.
It's gotta be.
There needs to be really meaning. So the idea of chit-chat, not really a Scorpio thing. because like, what's the purpose of it? So it sort of has that
Turned
attitude.
out to be a content conversation.
Yes, it needs to have meaning.
Yes.
Like,
Meaning,
there should be purpose
exactly.
to it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
and again, this wasn't something that I was necessarily getting from vibrational astrology necessarily, but you know, as you begin to explore different avenues, different venues, different words, it's sort of like it doesn't go against, you know, but it's like, no, understanding these little aspects can really have a lot of power. Like, why in my wife, so like, okay, I'm doing these sort of things at work and they're really frustrating me. Why? Well, here she is in psychiatry, but she's given just a few minutes with patients, and then you
Oh,
okay,
oh,
so
that's a
with the
killer.
few minutes you're not given any time to go into any
That's
depth or
frustrating.
meaning, and it
Yeah.
gets extremely frustrating.
It is frustrating for
Yes.
that, for
So, but
Scorpio.
for that dynamic, it's frustrating. Now, for other people who don't want to get into any depth, it's wonderful.
It's better.
Like shallow,
Yeah, it's
yes,
easy. It's just like,
yes.
give
Like boom,
me
that's
whatever
good.
and
I've got
go.
I've got
Yeah.
my 5 minutes, and then on to the next. And they can
Yep.
feel invigorated and like they're really doing something. Because it's not where one is right and one is wrong.
No,
Mhm.
everybody's
How are you
different in their
built?
own approach. Right.
Yeah. And so to be able to distinguish that, to say the reason why you're feeling frustrated is this, you know, that to me, because like as I was talking to her and kind of going over these things, it's like, okay, that's it. That makes sense. That's the problem I'm having. That's what I'm feeling. But then you know how to sort of address it and what to do, you know, and you can make decisions. So with the 360, again, it's about doing the combinations. It's seeing that with a sign, like we were earlier, we were sort of going over some of the ascendants, and you know, you can see the intricacies
Yeah.
of a sign. And
I was
so with
blown away by the ones you were sharing with me. I was like, oh my gosh, that fits this person. And you didn't know who the person was perfectly. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like understanding, again, vibrations are the idea of a singular thing vibrates, but then you get a combination of different parts that are coming together. So here you have planets that all come together in a particular vibration. And this activates, like this becomes a strong drive within a person. That's what it's doing. Now, can you see that in the chart? Well, yes, kind of. Like you can see, let's say Saturn is squaring Mars. Okay, you're going to know that there's probably something to do with hard work. There's probably something digging in there. This has an intensity, certain intensity to it. And you can know that, yes, but where is it pointing to? Where exactly is it going? With the vibrations, it's going to bring it and much more pinpointed. It's going to take, you can, I would say this, you can find the same things in a chart that a vibrational reading will do. It's just going to take you a ton longer, like a lot longer, to try to pinpoint all these points, because what it's doing is it's bringing it all together as one.
Right.
And so when you're able to get like the top, let's say 3 or 4 vibrations, like in order to find that in the chart, it's there, but in order to find it, it's going to take you a lot longer to find it, because it's more hidden. Like you're not seeing all those angles. And with the 360, what you're doing is we're getting every single potential angle, like every single one. We're not just taking trines and squares. That's not what we're doing. We're looking at every connection and what are the strongest. And so we're really going much deeper into the relational points. And what we have seen just in the research is that there is a lot of higher vibrations which are very important. That means that there are aspects we're not typically looking at that are extremely important for you. Like they define you. And this is what really vibrational astrology does. Well, and then in vibrational astrology, that's the core sort of basis of it. Now with this, the synergistic vibration that I'm doing, it's actually giving you a lot of the higher vibrations that eventually vibrational astrology will be able to research them all out and do it in that style.
Which I'm doing. Which I'm doing.
Me
Which
too.
Faye's
Starlene and
Faye,
I.
which
Faye and
Faye's
I
doing.
are on
It's
a
still going to be
mission.
and Starlene's doing. It's going to be some years
Starlene
yet
too.
before they catch me.
I don't know if it'll be years,
No,
but we've made some
no,
headway. We're gonna keep going,
I'm up
Faye. We're
to
gonna do it.
I'm up to
And
125
So
now.
they're really
me
trying to
too.
catch me, is what they're trying to do,
We
and
would
like
love to, but we have a little bit
they eventually
more work
will.
than you.
They
Well,
eventually
the
will.
research
By
is
then, I will already
really
have gone through
doing
hormones,
research is
identification.
really hard work, and it takes time, and you cannot just guess it. It's not a guesswork. That's why
No,
this work has become so enormous and lengthy.
yeah,
But we're getting there. We're focusing on finishing the 360.
Yeah,
So
we're
yeah,
we're
doing what Faye and I are doing, and this won't be part of the conference, but at some
we
point, I'm
won't make
sure
it
we'll
there.
put it
Yeah,
out in some way, maybe, But
yeah.
what we're doing is the extreme case sampling that has been done in the first 32 vibrations, and then,
Right.
was carried on. And,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. So it's just backing up and adding on to what
Mhm.
Christopher's doing with this synergistic astrology. And I love that
Exactly.
this idea of, and Christopher's like, I don't need that, but I know, but Christopher, Faye and I are the research diehards over here, and you're the research diehard in a different way, and we love you for that. Do you have an Aquarian in you, by the way?
me.
The
Got like
23
my
is 23 vibe, right?
Mercury's in the 11th, so
Okay, there you go. Well, it's also the 23 vibe too, I think.
oh
You're
yes.
23.
It's the
Because
11 vibration that is pushing him around.
that's okay. That's
Well,
okay. Faye and I got him, he's doing
It's
good.
okay.
I
We
love it.
are controlling him.
I don't know if we can do that
that
now. That's a little
you
much.
can try. Yeah,
We'll have to
No,
call
he's
Vina.
uncontrollable. But what he found is really good too. But
Yeah.
someone has to do a real research. Which like what we did with the previous
Yes.
plan numbers research, and we're doing this with all the 360, so that all of you can use VA without having to do research yourselves. We're doing all
Right.
this for you. I was hoping we will get it done for the conference, but with the thoroughness of it, the length of it, it will not make it, but it will make it for the next conference. It
The
will
next
definitely.
conference or
We will
something, we'll
definitely
have
go
it
on the
out. Yeah.
2026 conference. It will, and with what we found, and it will be connected to all Chris's work as well. It's not different. We
You'll
are
just prove
working
me
as a
right.
team. It's just in different departments, so to speak.
Well, Chris, I
Yeah.
love how you took the
Mhm.
different things, the Myers-Briggs, the 5 big
Yes,
personalities, you take that, the fixed stars. I love how you took all those
exactly.
other elements
Yeah,
and then created it. And then synergistic was like the perfect word because that's
right.
Yeah,
exactly what it is.
yeah.
And I love that because it gives us a different angle. And like you said, I mean, I
Exactly.
read tarot cards. I love tarot. I'm crazy amounts of tarot decks.
Yeah.
That's just my little hobby and my work too. But I love that. And you're bringing that element in. So maybe someone doesn't speak astrology so
Mm.
good, but they speak
Yeah,
tarot, they would understand it a little differently.
yeah.
And I think they're all paths lead
Yeah.
to the same place.
Oh,
It's just
yeah,
different routes
It's
to get
actually
there.
the idea of this conference. That's why it's called Convergence. Then
Yes,
we
yes,
can
that's why it's
combine all of
convergence.
these, including VA. VA is not it's not a separate astrology in
yeah.
there. You cannot
Well,
mix them
that's
all.
why.
You can mix them all together with other astrology, just like Chris have
Well,
proven.
what the whole
Yeah,
point for me
yeah.
with a synergistic and the whole
Mhm.
meaning of the word is you're not blending it into one. You
No.
are taking the different parts and understanding the different parts as they are.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that's why, like, the fixed star is the fixed star, and this is what it means. The decan is that particular is that's what it means. The Greek god, this is what it means. Like, you're taking these things, and you're saying these are associated with this point, with this dynamic, with this vibration. These are associated with this
Right.
vibration,
Exactly.
but they are different. Okay, so they each have a different element, and so you can take from it and say, I can understand the tarot card better by reading the rest of it, or I can understand the vibration better by reading the rest of it. But I'm looking for the answer for the vibration. Someone may be looking for the answer of the tarot. Someone may be looking for the answer of the Sabian. So it depends on where you're coming from, what you're trying to grow to. So I use it as an example, being raised Christian and everything. I learned a lot about Christianity through Buddhism. I'm not a Buddhist, okay? But I learned and I appreciated things within Buddhism that taught me about Christianity, okay? That taught me about that language. Oh, that's what that means. Oh, I think they say it better than the way I understood it, and yet it fits. Okay, so that's how I see it. It's like it can help you within your own tradition and with your own way of speaking. It's not about trying to convert people to speak this language.
I really would like everyone to use vibrational astrology in any of the technique that they're using now. I think it enhances everything that you're doing now, and because I have experienced it. I've studied all sorts of astrology when I took Avalon for the theoretical and applied cosmic cybernetics. We learned everything: Horary, Vedic, everything, evolutionary, everything. But then when I learned VA, well, I started with harmonics, and then went into all kinds of systems. And then when I learned VA, I was able to mix it together in it, and it enhanced everything that I've learned. So, this is what.
And I would say, from my point, because I started in VA, really, evolutionary astrology helped me. Okay, so it helped me give a framework of understanding, because again, I'm trying to put a story together. It helped me. All right, so it's like you can have different elements help you, because it's like there isn't a singular system in a sense that does everything. Like it doesn't really work that way. It's like this one hones in on that. This one hones in here. Okay, so there's different things. And I think as you, again, in taking these systems and not trying to blend them, but to synergetically understand, okay, these go together. They're separate, but they go together. They move and they help explain. That's sort of the dynamic. That's why, even in the conference of Convergence, it's the idea of we're all doing astrology.
Right.
But which lens are we looking at?
You don't want to come and sit with me if you're wanting to get money advice. That's not my thing. But it doesn't mean that, so for me going there, hearing how they're going to share about preparing charts and what to look for, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a aha moment to say, in VA we do it I see. I'm going to see how that works, and how I'm going to tie that language in. It hasn't happened yet because I really haven't sat through the sessions, but it's like I know that's kind of going to happen. And this is what I expect for people that are coming. Either one, those who already know a tradition and are just open to learning, okay, how do other people do this? What is this thing good at? And then, for the new people, for the new, it's just amazing because you're not sort of stuck in a tradition and you can just go and learn. And you're going to be able to learn from a lot. And there's so many astrologers that are going to be there. You're going to be able to talk to people and get to know, I mean.
We have the top-notch people.
Yes. And they're not just really intelligent. There's a lot of very kind people, That's what I've noticed.
They are all approachable.
I have had such an amazing. I said this to Fei, but I'm so grateful for having the opportunity to interview most of them. We do have a few more that we're going to interview after the first of the year, but that alone has been precious to me because these people have been doing astrology since before I was born. Some of them, and it's like. To learn from these legends, and that's what they really are, is legends, and their way of learning. It's like a gift, and I'm like, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I've told Faye that many times because really it is a gift. I mean, how, it's like I'm with the superstars, like it's kind
Right,
of cool.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to tell you the power of vibration astrology, I met a psychoanalyst at a conference. She's using a different system of astrology. Okay,
Okay.
she said, Faye, look at this chart. I know this woman has a problem and she's been my client for 10 years, but I cannot pinpoint this. I know this is a problem. Can you show me how these things work on VA and see if I can advise her what to do to heal her? And we combine them together, and you just get this aha moment. Oh my God, that is what I'm missing. Now, since then, she's been using VA to analyze her client more, but she's using her method and inserting VA into it.
Right, right. And like as I'm teaching my students, I'm on break right now, but I start my next class. If anybody's interested in learning VA, you can check out my class too. Just a little shameless plug. But
It's good.
I'm teaching I'm teaching VA, but I'm also giving them perspective, because in VA we wouldn't necessarily say what the sun, moon, and rising are doing, but that to me is really important. You need to look at that and you need to know the whole entirety of it. And I think that VA is like the laser beam that gets to the heart of the matter, but you also have all the other things going on. So that's why you need to look at everything. So that's what I love about the differences of these different styles and ways in which we are developing to look at it.
One of the ways I find, when you look at sometimes when you look at a vibration, especially some of the higher vibrations, they're very intricate. And what you'll do is you'll read through the vibration, read through the definition in a sense, see this is strong in the person. And literally you can find the points of the chart then. Because this is a vibration is a combination of, oh, look, you have the Mars in the 8th house in Scorpio. You have this, like you'll be able to see, oh, that makes sense. Like it helps define the points of the chart. Right. And it helps dig down and give more definition. So you already have your base. Like you take a standard astrology, you'll have your base. Like you can see some of these things. But a vibration will say, oh, you know what? I didn't look at that aspect. And I wasn't thinking that it was really affecting this. But now, okay, that makes sense. So you have a lot of those. I mean, Faye was talking about the aha moment. That's really what it's doing. Because you're seeing, but you missed this one aspect here.
Exactly.
And it's like in the vibration, that aspect exists.
You'll see it too. Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, you're taking that chart and you're understanding how it's being put together in the vibration. That's what you're doing. Right. And it's very powerful in that way because it combines the things that need to be combined. That's what it's doing. And you have to understand this energy operates this way. Right. As we were going over some of the ascendants, and you could look at a very structured, there was one I was looking at, very structured Pisces. Okay, you wouldn't think of Pisces as being especially structured or disciplined. Yet this particular vibration in the Pisces mold is that. And so, but it's creative, but in a very structured way. And so it's like, oh, this is wonderful. But you don't necessarily just automatically think structure in Pisces, like we have, again, we're human, so we hold certain things and we have certain thoughts and we've seen it defined and be true in certain ways. But like in this chart, what does it mean? So
in vibrational astrology, what is important is you feel the chart. So with my lecture on relocation astrology, how to find your ideal place to live, to visit if you're already settled, or to just go on vacation with family, I will help you learn how to feel the energy and vibration each of the planets involved. And once you feel it, you know the place that you want to go to, regardless of what it is, for your health, for your permanent relocation, for your education. I will show you how to apply this in your chart. And by the time you go home after attending my lecture, you will really be able to apply it. Yeah, and with the use of the series program, it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, you have it set up so easily. So depending on what the person's wanting to seek for, if they're wanting to
Yeah.
seek for success or study or
Mm-hmm.
something, you want a different energy than if you're just wanting to look for romance and somewhere to settle down.
Yeah.
So the way that Sirius is set up helps you, and you'll explain that, which is going to be amazing. And using it in a
Right.
vibrational sense with the vibrations or midpoints or both
Yeah.
gives
Yeah.
it that extra layer, which is like
Exactly.
perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
think
lecture, if
too.
you want to live there, move there permanently, we're going to show you. I'm going to show you how
Well,
to look at the love and romance, the vocation and career, the friendship and family, including the excitement and instability, so that you can find that perfect place for that system. So, in
well,
other words,
one thing I would add to that, Faye, is
yeah,
that you can find. So when you understand who you are, like for me,
yeah,
foundationally, you have to understand who you are. You have to
yes,
understand your strongest vibrations. You have to
Yeah.
understand what makes you tick.
exactly.
Because when you're so like when you're going on a vacation, like it's wonderful. Like you want to pick someplace you're going to have fun, that it's going to be
Right.
Yeah.
relaxing. That's what you do.
Yes.
But when you're dealing with your life and where you want to live, if I look at
Yeah.
Jacksonville, it is not that comfortable. Like from a vibrational point of view, it's
Yeah.
not. But if you look at what I need to do in my life and what I need to accomplish and where I need to go, it's
Yes.
perfect. Okay. So that's why it's always like, yeah, you take a person what is your strongest vibration? We have to understand always who a person is. And then
Yes.
you can begin to see why does this place resonate with you or why it doesn't. So I had a client that they were looking to, they wanted to move up north. I looked and I'm like, this does not fit you. It doesn't fit what you want to do. Yes, it was okay, but it's like, this is not you. Like, you don't do this. And they ended up moving to another place that I had like, okay. And they were like so happy because they went and visited that place. And they were like, oh yeah, it was not good. Like, I'm so glad I didn't move there. And they were literally ready to pick up and move. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
But
That's
it's like,
amazing.
yes, and I know, like for myself, okay, so Jacksonville, it's a transformative type of place for me.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you say transformative, that's not nice. Okay, so don't think,
Yes.
oh, that's good. No,
Yeah.
it's not nice.
Yeah.
But you've
It's
done
hard.
a lot of transforming from the minute
Exactly.
you were there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and now
Exactly.
look at you. You're
And
not
Now,
this
even,
but
presentation that I'm going to do a lecture of is not just an individual's move.
no, I
It's
understand that.
entire family can be.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
It's
But
not
now
just
I will
one.
tell you a place that I
Yeah.
really enjoy that's very nice for me is New Orleans. Okay. It's
mm,
like I have the most pleasant experiences and feeling there. And it has Venus there. It's very nice. So it's a really comfortable place. Like if I go to the old section of New Orleans and everything, it's like it's very dark and dirty and I just love it. Like it's like perfect. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but it is because I have that Venus line running right through it, and it's really wonderful. And so, like when you do it, and I've done this for vacations and different things, like what Faye's
Yeah.
going to be talking about, what she's going to
Yeah.
be instructing, and it's amazing. Like you literally can kind of see what's going to happen, like because you'll feel right into it,
Yeah.
and it's really nice to sort of know. For me,
Hmm.
if I have a preference, it's like I'd rather know than not know.
right.
That's my preference, and it's like we can do things consciously and work together with it. You can work with the energy instead of trying to fight it, because if you try and fight it, you're going to lose. um,
Yeah.
but you work with it, and so with what Faye's going to teach, when you have clients, then they can, like, if they're giving you a choice, well, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, you can literally walk them through then with what
Yeah.
Faye's going to teach on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying do it or not. I'm saying this is the kind of thing that's going to happen there. Is this what you're looking for? Does this fit
Right.
overall with your dynamic? This one
Yeah.
over here, it's going to be this. Does
Right.
this, like, and so people can make conscious decisions.
Yeah.
Because for me, I find most people kind of know in the back of their mind which one they
Yeah.
really should do, but
Yeah.
they
It's
need
like they have an
they need
intuition.
There is
help
the
to
mini,
make
mini, mini, mo in there.
they need help to make that okay. you've cleared it in my mind, and now I feel good about making that decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, it should be really good. Those are always it's so funny how it actually works. None of this stuff should work at all. Okay.
Yeah.
But it does. It's
It does.
crazy.
It's the map of the matrix or the universe, if you will. I don't know. I don't think we live in a matrix. I don't think, but it's the map of the universe, and that's why it works. I don't know.
Yeah. It really is true. I mean, it just like you just get it confirmed so many times.
Yeah.
But it
I
works.
mean, before I even knew about relocation astrology, I was in my late teens. I moved out of state, and that was a very specific time period in my life. And then fast forward 20 years or so, I learned about relocation astrology, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was feeling in that place. It was very specific. So it kind of spooked me because it's so real, I mean, if I would have went there to just have fun because it was a Uranus line, I would have just had fun and enjoyed myself, but it wasn't. I was living there, so it was kind of disturbing. And I'm like, wow, now I know. So when I have a client that comes in and they're like talking about, hey, Uranus, I'm like, hey, are you sure you're ready for this? Because that's what happens, you feel
Uranus is fun, but when you have too much of it, it's tiring. You don't want it.
Right. It was literally right on my ascendant Uranus line. I was like, oh, that was just too much for me. But we live and learn, and that was an experience. I didn't even know what relocation astrology was then, so it's so much different. But I mean, we have these tools to learn and to guide. Of course, a lot of us that will be attending the conference are professional astrologers, and those that aren't are wanting to learn. So we have these tools to learn and then explore through our own selves and then also through the people around us. And this is really what the conference is all about: learning, exploring, connecting with people that speak your language, which I really love because not everybody speaks astrology. And it's really a great place to be able to connect.
Yeah, we're inviting everybody to come. Before you come, look at your birth certificate. Find your time of birth. And you approach any of this VA astrologer, you can get an instant reading.
Yes.
So get ready. Approach any of us.
Yeah. It's really and it's important. There's a I was just at a conference a couple weeks ago, and I was doing a lot of charts for people because it was really something for my wife. She was there, so I was just kind of sitting around, and people would come and they would find out, oh, you're an astrologer, and I would talk about stuff. It's not like I don't talk about this with everybody. So
it wasn't an astrology conference. It was just a conference.
Oh no, it wasn't an astrology conference. It was a holotropic breathwork conference. So I mean, so I'm doing all that, and I talk to everybody, and people would then come up and slowly, like a lot of the attendees, like they would want to talk, but then other people would be very polite and not want to interrupt.
Yeah,
okay, they're fools. Sorry,
Yeah,
like you can be really nice, and you can be, but you know what? If you don't ask, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
So
don't be shy.
No, you really cannot be. If if you're shy and you're like, oh, I'll wait to be approached.
No.
Talk to us,
You
please, because we want to help you.
There's so many people we cannot approach. Each one of you, come to us.
Yes.
You sort of have to. If you want it, you got to come get it. And it's there. Like it's not considered. It's not like rude necessarily just to come up. Hey, this is what do you think of this? You got to kind of do that sort of stuff. All right.
Yeah.
So for me, that's fine. Like I appreciate that. And I'm ready to give answers because I will tell you, when I was starting off in astrology, I was like, the astrologers I was running into were not good. Like they didn't want to have anything. They didn't want to help. They didn't want to do anything. So
they want to sit down, and you paid big bucks at that time, like $250.
They don't want to do anything.
An hour.
Like they don't want to even answer the simplest thing of, okay, how do I tell when the houses of the like they didn't want to do anything.
Well, this conference is different. You can approach all of us. Yeah.
Well, that pissed me off so bad. You
Yeah.
know, to this day, it's in this city. There's I have nothing to do with them.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I
Nothing.
mean,
Like,
if you don't get a good vibe, it's understandable why you would feel that way.
well, it's just like, come
I
on,
mean,
people.
if you're new and then if you're new in astrology and you approach somebody and their reaction is like that, it's like, oh no, of course I will not even move on and get learning.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
you can
Yeah, you
discourage
feel kind of
people.
nervous.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
maybe these people are just kind of
Mhm.
clicky or something. That's
Yeah.
definitely not us, though. We're open, and that's something I've always loved about you. The conferences that you've held
Yeah.
for us, Faye, because everybody is like wanting to help each other, wanting to learn. I know I bring
Yes.
my laptop, and I'm sure you do, Christopher, too, and
Yes,
just to
everyone.
share with people and to understand what's going on and how we can benefit from
Yes.
learning this knowledge and putting it into use.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
again, the speakers that are coming, they're so
We have
kind.
great
Like, these are
speakers.
not,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
Faye was picking, and I had met some of them. I hadn't met all of them, but I'm like, okay, we'll see. So as we've been interviewing them, I was like, we'll see. I'm typically a fairly honest person. Like, I'll tell you whether I like somebody or not, and if I don't, I'll kind of like, they're smart, but and everybody has been really wonderful. Like,
Sure.
shockingly,
Yeah.
shockingly.
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting
Yeah.
that at all. That they've
You
been
know,
very bright and
yeah.
kind. You
Yeah.
sometimes will get bright people that are just not kind.
Yeah.
You know?
Chris and Christopher have not met these speakers before, but as we do the interview, oh my God, it blew their mind. So go, you guys come, you get to experience the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're interested in astrology and
Yeah.
you're interested in learning any sort of the aspects, you can buy books and you can try to read and you can watch YouTube things. And it's not that they're
It's not the
bad,
same.
but it's like, there's so many things I know for myself. Like, I started off doing a lot of that kind of stuff, trying to learn, and it was like fumbling through. If I'd only had somebody just to help, just little bits of things, like just,
Yeah.
oh, no, do it like this, or, okay. It would have just cut so much time off
Yeah.
of my learning. And
Mm.
I know how much that would have meant to me. you know?
Yes.
And so that's why I think we're all like very open, because we know how hard it is starting, because astrology is complex. It is. Okay.
It is.
And it takes a
It's
while
huge too.
for that to sort of sink in, and for it to be able to flow, and just
Yeah.
for you to kind of know. It takes a little bit of time, but when it does, it's awesome. It's really like, and then you want to share. And
Yeah.
even as astrologers, and professional astrologers, I will tell you, you're always learning. Like, there is always more to learn. Like, it's the one thing about astrology that is amazing, that really brings me a lot of joy, is you can always learn more. Like,
Yes.
always.
It's not stagnant. It's not.
Like, there are so many things that I have, like, not right now, that I want to study. There's just so many lines. Like, I will, to the day I die, I will not stop studying astrology. Like,
I feel the same.
like, you get into a thing and then it opens up to a whole vista of all these other things. Like, oh my God, so
but it's a never-ending resource of understanding yourself and other people. And I know I think about that, and I'm like, retire. I mean, I might retire in some level, but I'll always be active with my mind. Keeping. Why wouldn't I be? Because that keeps you young too when you keep your mind going.
Yes.
And I mean, I know astrologers that are like in their 80s even doing
90s
astrology still and loving it. Yeah, probably know some in
95. And their brains can calculate it manually. Oh my
You're not
God.
in your 80s yet, Starlene? You're not.
Starlene is 80 years old.
I would give you an obscene gesture, but we're on the camera.
Hey, if everybody
So I'll
thinks
just
you're
say,
80, they're like,
imagine
wow,
it.
She looks
Hey, these
really
are my
good,
families.
right?
These are my kids. I'm sorry.
Just imagine. These fingers are gone, and this is the only one left. Oh my goodness. So funny. Nah. I love you, Christopher. You're like a brother to me.
A much younger brother, right?
Oh yeah, right. A much younger
Okay,
brother.
you
I
guys,
have
this is how you
barely
handle
passed
kids. You just
my
listen to their
Chiron
conversation,
return.
okay?
I know. And Faye's over here refereeing. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I love it. And I'm so excited
Yeah,
about the conference to meet all these
yeah,
new people and all these speakers that I haven't met yet. Some of them I have, but
yeah,
it's going to be such a great, I mean, and I don't know about you guys, but I am jazzed after the conference. Like I've learned all these new techniques, and the
yeah,
next thing I do is go home and I like start working with it and figuring out
yeah,
how does it work into what I do,
Yeah.
you know?
It's
So
like you
this is
get a bunch
yeah.
of toys that you got to go home and play with. I mean, that's
yeah,
kind of where it goes,
Right.
is,
exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like the Santa it's like Santa Claus came or something and gave you all these
right.
And
different
that's a thing
ideas.
that's really always been very important for the conferences that Faye's put on, that people go home with something new. They go home with something. Like, it's important to go home. Now you have something new you've learned, and we've always
Right.
Right.
tried to like, there's new things. It's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
rehashing old stuff. It's
Right.
like,
Right.
no, there's new stuff that's coming
Yeah.
about. And that's always been the excitement of vibrational astrology, is that
Mhm.
it's growing. So it's like constantly there's new things to do, new things to learn, and
Yeah.
there'll be a lot at this conference that is really brand new. So
Right.
it's it'll be exciting. If anybody's thinking it's a good Christmas gift to give someone, that would be amazing. So,
Yes.
That's true.
but
That is
Exactly.
very true.
Yeah.
so,
That would be a great Christmas gift to give to somebody that loves astrology. Like go
Yeah.
for a weekend. It'll be great.
Yeah. It's the
Good
best
point.
astrology conference you will be attending to. Yeah.
Yes, it really
Mhm.
is. It really is because it's
Mhm.
not just the conference, it's a community of people that
Yeah, the
make it
people
special.
we're all approachable. We can mingle with you. It's really gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
educational at the same time, a lot of fun, and at the same time, a vacation.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
away from
mean,
home. Yes.
honestly, it's the highlight of my year outside of my family things that I do. It's like this is the pinnacle of all the things. It's like
Yeah.
what I prepare for all year long to figure out how are
Yeah.
we going to work through this and what is my role in this particular conference. Because
Yeah.
Christopher and I have participated in all of them and been able to help and guide in different ways, and it's been amazing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
but
really exciting, and it's
this is the most exciting one. I
this
mean,
is the
the others have
most
been
yeah
good, but
it's
this is the biggest, most varied. It's much broader. So personally, I'm more excited, because there's just a lot more going on. There's going to be.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, and I also know that everything's going to be recorded. People are going to get all the recordings. Correct, Faye? That's part of the whole
Yes,
thing.
all of the
Yeah.
registered
So
attendees will.
so you're
So
not going to miss anything.
you just
You
pick
know.
the best that you want to attend to, and if you cannot attend the other two, because there will be three tracks at the same time going on, then you get the recording of the other two that
Yeah,
you
which
didn't
is
get to
awesome.
attend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost any extra. It's all part of the thing. So
Yes.
that's a
Mhm.
really cool thing. So you're not going to miss anything, because I know when I'm there and I'm like taking pictures, I'm taking notes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what was that? Like, you'll miss
Yeah.
a little thing, and to know that it's all in the recording, it's all going to be
Yeah.
there.
And this is not audio. This is video recording.
Yeah, yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
Yeah, that will be
professional
great.
videographers. Yes.
yeah. That's
And
another
then
thing to know.
the workshops in the beginning, the pre-conferences are extra, right? Is that right,
Right.
Faye?
The workshops are extra for the main conference only. You don't get the workshops if you did not register to it. It's an extra one that
Yeah,
is
but
on
they're
the 17th.
special. Yeah, they're
Yeah, yeah.
special
It's a
more
3 hours
workshop.
workshop.
Yes, yeah. So you could
Mhm.
definitely register for those too if you want
Yeah,
to as well. So those are going to be also fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to every one of them. So
yeah. The
um,
veterans astrologers, and they're gonna give a lecture for 3 hours, and you can ask questions after. So it's really great. Yeah.
that'll be
And
great.
you also will get the 3 hours recording when you're registered to it. Then you can review it when you get home. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
These are all included with your fee.
Yeah.
And
And
all
we're
these
gonna have
people have agreed to do
Venue's
this.
beautiful. The venue's great. I've been there. It's attached to a mall that has
Yeah.
tons of restaurants. Tons, like you never have to leave the facility. Like it's all
Yeah,
it's all contained. It's massive. So it's
exactly.
got a great venue. Plenty of places to sit, to talk, to chat, to go grab a bite to eat. Yeah, it should be again very enjoyable. Just if you have one time that you're going to be going to an astrology conference or something, again, just
this
it's
one.
in Florida. It's in the middle of winter, which is, it's in Florida. Okay. So we're not dealing with any really,
Enough said there.
yeah, very nice.
Yeah,
So comfortable, again, great people, great
yeah,
conversation. I mean, so the sessions are great. They're wonderful. You're learning, but I kind of like the meals and the conversations and all the stuff that go along at that point. Like those
Yeah,
are
me
always really good,
too.
especially
Because
when
you're
you can
not,
get some interesting people that, just the different stuff, and everybody's talking astrology. I mean, that's
yeah,
what everybody's talking. So
yeah.
yeah.
The venue is very easy to get to. It's only 15 minutes Uber ride from the airport. It's very close.
That's perfect. Did they have a
Yeah.
shuttle to get people
They
from the
don't have
airport?
a
Oh, there's
shuttle,
not, but
but
they could
you
just
can
Uber or something.
easily do
Yeah.
Uber
it's
or
really
Lyft
Yeah.
close.
if
And we're
you're.
also having a banquet on Saturday night. So if you want to come to the banquet, you can come to the banquet. And that's always fun. We get to dress up
Yes.
fancy if we want. You don't have to, but usually Faye and I do.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
get
yeah.
to, have a nice
We will have,
dinner and everything.
that's right. We will have a Saturday night banquet, and that is an extra fee. But we will have a professional DJ. We will have some performances and dance and food.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's the
be
best.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah. That'll be really exciting. I love the banquet too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's free yoga every day, Saturday and Sunday. Free
Oh, that's
yoga.
right. Yeah, you
Yes,
can come in the morning. It's on the
in the
schedule so you can
morning
see. But come in the
before the
morning.
lecture
It's
start.
Karma Mattel, and we're gonna actually
Come
interview
hotel.
her
Yes,
after the first of the year. You'll see an interview with us here with Karma as
yes,
well. So you'll be
yeah,
able to get to know her too. So it'll be great to have that morning yoga stretch and get into your body and enjoy the day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's included. There's no
Yeah.
extra fee for that.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah,
perfect. I'm
this
so
is
excited about it.
really a vacation of a lifetime with educational thing on astrology.
Yep, it really is.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll be again, it'll be really good because
Yeah,
the people you'll meet and the conversations you can have, that to me is really
yeah,
that's the best. I mean, if we
yeah.
really wanted to be fun, okay, I would like to have a conference in Egypt personally, but here nor there on
That
that.
would be so cool.
That will be
That
so
would
cool.
be but that would be a different thing. That would be
Yeah.
in doing the stuff. That would be less on the session time and more
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
in seeing stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, that would
Right.
be cool.
But
I
the
mean,
social part of
I'm a
it is
realist.
so much
So
fun. Right.
what's
And the
that?
idea of the social part of how we interact in the
No,
conference, everybody goes
that's
to dinner
really
with
the best
somebody
part. I mean,
and
the reality is okay. So the reality is, if it's just a transmission of information, you can do that on the internet. If it's just,
right.
but
yeah.
see, that's not what. There is something that is transmitted by people. Okay, like being face to face, it's different, and that's the one thing that I really am keenly aware of because I actually like conferences. I like going. I like being in the presence of people. Okay, that's what I like, and especially really good teachers because there is something that emanates from them. Okay, don't ask me what, but it is true. There is something that can communicate to you at subconscious levels that you just don't get online.
Right.
Again,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't understand why, but it's
yeah,
true. Now,
yeah,
the other thing is, again, the meals between the sessions, all the stuff, and all the communication and the talking and the sharing. And I had we were in Seattle and went to the conference there. And my favorite times were between the sessions. I mean, that
Meeting
was,
people. Yeah.
yeah, meeting people, talking to people, getting to know them, getting to know some of their thoughts, what they think about, different
Yeah.
aspects or different things,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have, as an individual, you have questions. Okay. Now, sometimes the sessions are going to answer some of those questions, but they might produce more questions. The being able to ask people questions is a big deal. Like that, you
Yeah.
don't do that. You don't really get to do that online much.
Yes.
You
Right.
don't get to, like that. That's what you don't get. You don't get the
Mm.
live interaction. And if we
Right.
were the type of people that, yeah, we're going to do our sessions, then we're going to go back to our room.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, but
that
that's
just
not who we are. Like that's
that's for
not how
Yeah.
we
sleeping.
talk front. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's it.
like
Yeah.
you do the session and you're there, and you're out
Yeah.
there, mixing with everybody, talking to everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
that's again in
Yeah.
conferences. That's what I enjoy. That's what I want to do. So that's what
Yeah.
I want to be a part of. It's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of interaction,
Yeah.
because again, it means so much to me to
Mhm.
have those times with people. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
There's
so
a 45 minutes interval between lectures, so you have a lot of time to mingle with
oh
people before lectures. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
perfect. That gives us a
Yeah.
chance to anybody
That's
has
when you have to make a
questions, they can
beeline for
ask.
the person you want to talk to.
That's right. Or just you'll find them. And I mean, the whole idea of
Or
just
you can be
even
lackadaisical and hope to find them. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You make a
but yeah,
beeline for them and go.
it's definitely a good idea to ask those questions in that 45
Mhm.
minutes time because you'll learn and then you'll get that little piece that Christopher was talking about that you don't get
Yeah.
in online, because
Yeah.
Just don't miss the lecture.
yeah, just stay in the area and don't miss the lecture and you'll be fine the next lecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
getting a
it's going to be
recording.
fantastic.
I'm getting a recording of it anyway. So
Oh, Chris is up for fun.
Yeah, Chris is like, I'll just watch
sometimes the
recordings.
conversations are like, there's conversations I've
You
had that I
can't
would
stop
rather
it.
that.
You can't stop it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
When
Yeah.
it's fun.
that was sometimes the most valuable thing I got was a conversation.
Yeah.
That was the most and really that's all that matters. As long as you
Yeah.
feel that there was value in it, that's what matters to me. I'm not, if you
Yeah.
can't tell, I'm not really a rule follower. Like,
Yeah. That's the beauty of having a physical conference.
yes,
You're not
it is.
stuck in your little room.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
get some movement. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. Sign up. If you're thinking of doing it, just do it. You'll
Yes.
regret not. I mean, you will regret not.
Yeah, we promise you'll enjoy yourself. I mean,
Yes.
People do. They always worry about stuff, and yet you should adjust. Like there's times when you're like, oh my God.
It will be worth your time, your expenses. It will really be totally worth it. Yeah.
it will
Yeah,
be.
yeah. It's like, yeah, that's just the way it is. So,
Yeah.
all right, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. This was an awesome conversation, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Anybody that lasted through this with us, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody at the conference, March 7 through 9, 2025 in Orlando, Florida. So be there
Yeah.
or be square. All right.
Looking forward to see you all. Shake hands, hugs. See you
All right.
all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.